finishing up this Chevelle from our friend Brandon. I figured you guys would want to see it. I'm really feeling it for 2026. 2025 had some goals to put up a video once a month. We didn't make that, did we? And we littered my video feed with part ones that never had a part two. So let's not do that. Let's not do that anymore. And we're just gonna show you stuff that I'm doing. I don't know why we're saying weird, because it's me. I'm gonna show you stuff that I'm doing in the shop. I'm always in here. I'm always welding. It's a mess. I don't want it to be. Maybe you can relate. But anyways, we have my friend Brandon's 66 Chevelle 4-door. As usual, James had it and then sold it to Brandon. Seems to be the way it goes around here for most of my friends and me. And Brandon's a friend of mine, does transmissions. His card's right here. Hit him up if you're in town. If you're in Tucson and you need a 60E, or I mean really any transmission at this point, I guess. And we got to talking. I think I needed a transmission for this Tahoe that I bought that needs a transmission. And we came up to some deal. I don't know. What I do know is that this car is about 90% done on the fab work. It had manifolds on it. The turbo manifolds, like an Amazon special that I think I maybe actually gave Brandon at some point. And then some very chrome manifold. Feel free to make any comment you want about that, because it's very, very chromed. And it's like super heavy. It's like 20 something pounds of manifold. I don't know, it's a gargantuan manifold. But car's pretty simple. I think it's 5.3 cam, 80E built, 80E trans guy. He's gonna build his 80E. And then he's doing like the AC, all kinds of cool stuff, brushless, big old brushless fans. And other than that, I'm gonna flip around and show you what I did. We did the cold side, upper and lower rad hoses, which is my first time doing rad hoses. And then he got the VS racing parts all from me, blow off valve. This is a 78, 75 Gen 3 billet. Big boy. Pretty good. I think this is the only one of these that I've actually sold. But I'm also very, very curious to see how it does. So yeah, upper lower rad hoses, cold side, down pipe, and the crossover and wastegate. Right now we'll get down there, but the downpipes just stopped at the trans. I think that's mainly it. So I just got to finish the exhaust. But with the end of the year coming up, I'm gonna put a lift in right here, and I want Brandon to wire it and then plumb it so he can fire it, give it back to me, and then I'll have a lifty lift, so my neck can stop breaking, doing stuff on my back, and I'll finish his exhaust. So you can see from his really sweet diagram, highly technical, that I figured out. Rad hose is kind of cool. Like, it looks maybe like a factory hose deal. This is all JMD tubing that I get, and then he had brought me some of these cast elbows. I've never used them before. They weld sweet as pie. Got some good clearance here. Maybe it doesn't look like it at first, but we got some good clearance. It's pretty stable. It's not going anywhere. V-bands, my first aluminum V-bands. Welding is okay. And when you start, I don't know. I need to not be so hard on myself maybe, but I think everything's looking okay. 50 millimeter wastegate, or blow off valve. Well, I guess it's kind of a wastegate. Another cast elbow here. He has a big trans guy, kind of a big trans cooler. He has a AC compressor, AC, oh my God, condenser, sorry. And then intercooler. I like as thick as possible, giggity, but this one is sufficient, I think, for what we're dealing with, as long as we watch IATs. We got this side's done, it's in the car. I just don't want to keep hacking on the guy's car. I didn't make that hole, but I made that hole. And I gave him a lot of crap for it, but it actually stressed me out pretty bad. So that's the upper hose, that's the upper cold side piping, and then we have the lower rad hose. kind of cool. I don't know. I thought it came out all right for my first set. I always try to think of serviceability and functionality, so you know, I didn't want it to get too close to any of the belt routing or the AC compressor kicking on and off. And then we have these giant brushless fans, so it's just kind of doing its own thing, noodling around. And then really excited about a 4-inch down piper coming through here. And man, we got room for days for some spark plug clearance. I mean, these are just straight up factory truck coil pack wires or spark plug wires that I haven't done anything to. So he's not gonna have, you know, issues with spark plug wires or servicing them or anything like that. O2 bung, all in a nice place. Then we'll hop down and take a look down here real quick. Going down. So one thing I always try to think about when I build stuff like this is like clearance. And this is the best of all the worlds. So pretty tight tucking stuff, which is great. The oil pan tucks tight. The trans is actually up there pretty good underneath the cross member. And you can see we got her close. I definitely always tend to get things as tight as I can and hopefully not cause issue. So I just wanted to, you know, he has an inspection cover on here. You can still service the transmission. Like, you can take the pan off. He's a trans guy, so maybe he won't have to, but every time I've done my own transmissions, usually that bad boy's coming off. We got a 50mm VS Racing Wastegate. And then what I did is, this is just a 2-bolt flange, 2.5-inch 2-bolt flange, and I know pie cuts are kind of icky, but for this one, what I thought was kind of interesting, I just bought 2 U-bends, and I made it out of basically 2 U-bends and a bag of pie cuts. So it actually worked out kind of good. So comes down through here. He's half of the U-bend. The other half. Got a nice flexi boy. This is nice, good ones you get from JMD. Get them from JMD or I don't know. That's the only place I get them from. And then comes up back into 2 pieces of pie. They just kind of help offset and joggle the pipe off to the side a little bit. We still have starter clearance. You can take the starter in or out. Again, you can service everything. Oil, you know, just try to think of these things. You got oil coming out of here. We're not going to hit anything. Oil filters, not going to hit anything. Yeah, overall pretty happy with it. And then we have the down pipe, the big mama. Couple things. It's close. In your first thought, you might be like, that's kind of close to the trans. But as I'm looking down, the trans cross member, this is essentially where it needs to go. So it's straight shot to this bad boy, and then we can kind of, don't get too sick here, but we'll go back that way and build the rest of our exhaust with like a loud valve and kind of factory looking exhaust is the plan. So yeah, we'll leave it here for now. If he has to fire it off or crank it off, this won't cause any problems, and he can have all the clearance off the frame rail and up underneath here on the floorboard. So looking pretty sweet, man. Overall, pretty happy. Took me way too long. I think in the summer or whenever it was that he dropped it off, he said have it done by Christmas, jokingly, meaning that he wasn't in a rush, and it's almost Christmas. But sometimes you say something to somebody and it sinks in their head, you know, and then maybe I just thought he really meant have it done by Christmas. So pretty good Christmas present, hopefully. We'll get this out of here. I sold the green Fairmont. That's another story, but get this thing out of here and get a lift up. I'll keep you guys updated. Look for more videos. If you don't see something, yell at me. That's why I'm here. I see literally multiple people, friends, people that I've met through YouTube have hit me up and been like motivating me, and that's one of the coolest things ever, because I originally just started putting stuff on Facebook or YouTube because I wanted to. It was a blast. And I'm just the type of person who likes to share certain things or even talk about life or things like that. And that reciprocity and like, you know, even if one person is in the room kind of thing, I'm going to do it. So hearing that back from you is what brings me here. So let's keep it up. 2026. I'm not going to beat myself like I want to. I'm going to say one a month, one video a month, mandatory. Okay. You guys have a good one. Later.